This is Paul, Ron. First, I'm going to talk to you about the tape speeds here. I think that these two recorders, the one here and the one you have, go at different speeds. And, for example, your voice, when I heard it, sounds very high. So I think that when we play it faster than you probably recorded it. So my voice will probably sound fast to me here, but it'll sound slow to you. And I hope I'm speaking fast enough for your recorder. First, I'm sorry I didn't have any time to write you. I was working very, very hard and long and ridiculous hours under stupid conditions. And I just really had very little time to write. When there was time, I sort of did other things, like going out and drinking and stuff. Nadia was sort of in a similar position. She tried to write you as much as she could, but a lot of things came up for her, too, that made things very difficult, and she just didn't keep in touch as much as we wanted to. A great many things have happened since I've last seen you, and I really don't remember whether they happened when you were here, some of them, or whether they've happened since you left. So if I talk about something that you recall that happened to us together, I'm sorry. One thing that's very current in my mind is the recent civil disturbances we had. Nadia and I were in Washington, D.C. for them, and while we were going out that night, when we heard that Martin Luther King had been killed, as you may remember, I had a picture taken with him a few years back with Joe Paul and Mr. Curran and I. So I about ready to have this thing framed and put up for everybody to see in my next election campaign, or maybe my first election campaign. At any rate, Nadia and I heard about it. We were in Washington, and the rioting broke out there. And I think that it may have been overplayed. There was burning and all, but the hostility that could have existed really didn't. There was a lot of opportunism in that when you get a chance, you do break into a store that's open and take whatever you can. I through with training at Quantico now. I trained with some they were just terrific. These young officers there, they were highly intelligent and marvelous people to work with. We went through hell together, and you can see why Marines that go through this will die for one another, or risk their lives, or throw themselves on grenades. They really are a great bunch of people. They were intelligent. They were so funny, it's amazing how they could keep their humor, and this tends to be contagious. So I would be funnier, and everybody else would be funnier, and it was just great working with them. I am going now to Newport. I'll be there for 7 weeks. Newport is great because this is in season for the rich people, and that means that I can't afford to live anywhere. I did get an apartment. It isn't really an apartment. It's a half of a cottage, and it costs $185, and I have to pay all utilities. But it's right out in the area where the Vanderbilts and the Dukes and these people, they live right on the same street. And Jackie Kennedy's club that she belongs to for sunning and stuff is just across the street. So it's a real nice setup socially, and it's going to cost me a fortune. Nadia and I are going to the West Indies for a few days now, and then we're going to Newport. I won't have any time after Newport with her because I'm expecting to go to Vietnam immediately. I do have orders for Vietnam, and I guess that they just won't give me any time. So I'm here now for 3 days. Robert S. is up here, Dolly's here, Mother, and Denny. Grandpa Luchin was up for a while. Denny and I put up a fence outside. We moved the fence down more to keep the cows from eating up Mommy's blossoms here, and hopefully we can put in more trees there. She said you suggested it. So I guess that'll please you if our stupid little fence will hold the cows out. Nadia's in New York. I was very ill recently. I had a bad reaction to typhoid. shots, and I was delirious and fever of 105 plus. So she's in bad shape, I guess, having had to take care of me and then drive to New York, and the Volkswagen just went out on her. So I'm going to get down there soon. Now, as for things like elections, I guess you're following them, and it's great sport for you down there to see what's happening to us up here, with Bobby Kennedy jumping into the mess and Johnson jumping out, and I'm sorry that I won't be here to see them. I'd really love to see the conventions, and I guess that I'll get the news the same way you do, by radio or by the impressions of local newspapers. Well, we'll see what happens, Ron, and I just hope that Americans are less emotional than they have been in the past about such things. But I think that my desires won't happen now. One more thing, my selection for promotion to captain has come through, so I should have a little more influence and more money and all this stuff. I haven't been made a captain yet. It's just I've been selected. That means once the security and the physical tests and all this stuff are through, I will be promoted, assuming nothing goes wrong. Speaking of security, once again I'm having a problem because they don't have any security clearance on me in the Marine Corps. It's funny how the bureaucracy sort of just swallows you up sometime here. One thing I would like to mention is my changing attitudes about things like going to Vietnam. When I first decided to go, it was a little like, well, it was easy, no sweat. It was like deciding whether to go to Swickley or to Ambridge. It didn't matter much. You just made a left or a right. And I never gave it much thought. If I could have gone right then, it would have been all right. But the problem is sitting here for 2 months or 3 months afterward, having everybody upset and scared and talking about friends that got blown to bits and booby traps and the number of casualties we're taking and everything like this, and having to sit and reflect on everything makes me more and more apprehensive. And I just wish I could have gone straight over so that this wouldn't have happened to me, because now I'm beginning to doubt my own courage and my own wisdom and whether I have any sense at all. So I just hope that I can get busy myself enough that I won't think about it and I'll go over and do my job, whatever it's going to be. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing. Probably something in the legal line, maybe civic action. Maybe I'm seriously considering, if I don't lose my courage, applying for a company there, or a fighting unit of some sort, just because the training with the Marines, it's something that I've become, I think, good at, and I would like to go with them and work with them. It's not a particular hostility or a belief in the justice of the cause or what anybody's doing there, but in fact there have been just too many cases of things like atrocities or bad leadership or lack of supervision, and I feel that I could do a better job and prevent some of these things. And that if I see that this is true in Vietnam, I will make an effort to put myself in the position where I think I can do some good in this way. The same thing is true of civic action programs. If I see that there's something I can do to help the people or to gain their support, which is sorely needed and very rarely received these days, and the people who are doing it aren't getting the results I think I could, then I'll try to insert myself in and get the job done. And hopefully these things like security and whether my medical records and all this stuff won't bug me, or nothing wrong will happen with it, so that I can somehow try to be effective in my own little way, in my own little world. I frankly don't think that whatever I do is going to in any way affect any major policy anywhere. And in fact, looking at it objectively, whatever happens to me is not going to affect anything very much except those very near to me. But I guess all of us are pretty much expendable and don't really make a difference except someone like Martin Luther King who has that degree of courage. Very interesting, I got some letters that Daddy had written to Uncle Mike, and Margaret saved them. I think you'll be interested in them. I haven't told anyone about them yet. Dolly was there when I got them. But he had a pig here, and he keeps talking about how's the pig and take care of the pig. And usually in the P.S. he'll ask how you and I are. And Dolly thought it was very funny. She was reading them yesterday and laughing over at Margaret's. So I'll have them, and they'll be around with my other stuff, and I'll make them available to you in case you should get back before I do. The way things are now, I'll only be going over to Vietnam for 13 months, and assuming everything's okay, or I don't get wounded or anything, it will be just 13 months. And I guess I should be finishing up my tour about the time you're coming back from Brazil. So Mommy has a bottle of tequila here that's reserved for us when we get back here together. And I guess that should be motivation enough for both of us to get back here on time. Dolly just came in to get a coat or something. I'm in the bedroom right now. And the cows are coming up, and we're going to see whether my fence works, the one I built with Denny out there. And Mommy just put on some records or something blaring in the background. I doubt you can hear them now. I think they've been turned down. But this is not conducive to keeping my train of thought and talking to you. I know I'm stuttering and having a rather bumpy talk here because I'm not really used to speaking into a microphone. I'll just remind you about the bottle of tequila we have waiting here and tell you to hippity hop up. I will mention that I read in Time magazine an article about these African bees that they were going to use in Brazil, but some escaped, and they're vicious, and they kill people and animals, and they just attack them in swarms. So I'll tell you to beware and wear some netting a lot. I had great fears for you. I knew this would happen. As soon as you got there, all hell would break loose. I expect the government may fall next. At any rate, I wish you well, and I hope to see you soon. If I win the war real quick and get a chance, I'll hippity-hop down to Brazil if they give me any leave. Mommy keeps talking about it. I think it might be wise to discourage her because I'm not sure she could handle herself all that well in a foreign country so far from home with so many different customs and different language. But if you think that she could handle it, then fine. We're also considering selling some of this property next to Mike. We got an appraisal on it, and Erda made an appraisal for $3,500 as a fair market value. And of course Mike would not come near to paying that. I think he expected that it would only come to a couple hundred. But there's, I think, 2.2 acres down there. So Mommy's going to maybe sell it and fix up this house a little with it. And if she has something, she honestly wants to come down and see you. So you can write her one way or another how you feel about her coming down. So I'll sign off for now, Ron. I'm going to try to replay this and hear how bad I am. And I hope to see you real soon. Well, unfortunately, I doubt that's going to happen. Take care, and all the best from us up here if the others don't talk to you. Everyone's been asking about you and how you're doing. And if you get a chance, well, I won't say write, but type a letter. I saw these postcards from friends of yours asking for your address because no one could decipher your handwriting. It was really hilarious, from Franklin and Marshall and all these places. So if you can, type, because your writing is really atrocious. Okay, kid. Oh, Nadia sends her best, and I'm sure she's going to be writing you as soon as she gets a chance. So take care, and so long for now.